So,
Oh,
since we're talking about Sunset Beach, did you see that Catherine Noon is going to be February 24th on that? Is it the locker room?
Locker. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be on there. I'm excited.
Yeah. I did see that. That's cool.
I love her. Aunt
And if
Beth.
that pic- and if the picture that they used to promote it is a current picture, she looks great.
I mean, well, we saw what they do with makeup with her. She can go from looking like Aunt Beth to Miss Wallace.
um. So I had a thought today. It's not Sunset Beach related, but I
Oh,
was just cracking myself up. So I was
okay.
thinking about Melrose Place, and then I was like thinking about like if we started covering Melrose Place, like what would we call that segment? And then I was just like, Amanda Woodward. Like I was just like saying people's names, where they worked, and I'm like Amanda Woodward, AW. And then I was like AW, AW, and I
I
was
never.
like, is Aaron Amanda?
Oh my god! I never realized we shared the same initials.
I
I
was like,
love.
her middle name is a D. I'm out.
Do we know her middle name?
I don't know.
Because I'm really hoping it does start with a D. Everything's better with a little D.
But yeah, so that was my thought today. Random thing I was thinking about.
Well, thank you for letting me know my dreams of being Amanda this much closer.
um, so yeah, welcome to Queers and Soaps, everyone. Sorry about that little rant. Today we're talking about Sunset Beach, episodes 16 through 20.
And what a week it was.
Yes, I took lots of notes.
Good, because I didn't.
Why am I the organized one?
I'm busy. It's hard being this beautiful. I'm just kidding.
So roll the credits and we'll get into the week of Sunset Beach. All right, so let's see. Where are my notes?
All I can say is what a rough week for Annie. Poor girl.
Yes.
Poor girl.
So we start the week off with Ben having a dream about his dead wife Maria, who I'm tired of hearing about. I need to see her already.
She's alive? No, I'm just kidding. I know.
I guess he fell asleep, or maybe he was just daydreaming because he was standing when Meg startled him. So maybe he just kind of like drifted off.
You know, that daytime stare into.
Because in his dream, he was at his home.
Mm-hmm.
And then he snapped out of it. He was in his office. So he apologizes to Meg because he realizes that he fell asleep while she was like telling her life story the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I genuinely like want to hear it, so like tell me all about it. But they keep getting interrupted, like the phone rings.
I know. Every time she starts to share her story, I'm like, okay, where's the knock? Where's the ring? What's going to happen that we don't find out that you're Dorothy and SB?
And she's pretty much just like, it's not that important. Like, I'll tell you some other time.
And I'm like,
No,
the fuck, yeah, ain't important.
It is important.
I'm like, girl.
So yeah, he gets a phone call that there's an update on Annie's case.
Mm-hmm.
And Meg goes with him to the police station. Actually, no, she goes to the police station to get a review of her stolen credit card statement to make sure like it wasn't used. And she accidentally bumps into one of the officers and papers go flying everywhere. And so some of Del Douglas's statements get mixed in with hers. And she knowingly takes that so that she could show Ben.
Because that one little statement is going to just
blow the case open.
Blow the case, which I guess in Sunset Beach it kind of did a little bit. But
so Ben is so grateful for the help and they share a hug. It was a very intimate hug, I felt like. Like Meg looked like she liked it a lot.
Oh, I bet she did.
So maybe she's starting to be like, well, maybe this thing with SB isn't going to work out. Maybe I'll try it with Ben. Oh, Tatiana's with us.
Oh yeah, you just saw it. Hey girl, hey.
Tatiana's our friend from one of our Facebook Sunset Beach groups. So,
we were recommended too. So definitely join Back to Sunset Beach.
yes.
They are passionate about Sunset Beach, and I love it.
So, where are we?
Just got the credit card
Oh,
report.
so Annie has Eddie handcuffed in the jail cell.
I am disliking this guy more with each episode. I'm just like,
He has very,
ugh.
very random moments where I think he's being genuine, and I'm like, no, he's lying.
Well, he's scumbag right now.
Yeah. He's playing everybody to get a payday.
Not doing very well at it either, if I do say so.
She says she'll let him go if he helps her frame Olivia for the murder. she just wants it to be Olivia so bad. She doesn't care. Like
they don't care. Yeah. Both of those little sets of people, Olivia and Annie, they don't care who murdered Dale at this point. They just want it to be each like the other one.
So he agrees. She lets him go, and he goes to see Olivia, and he tries to blackmail her with pictures of her disposing of the gun in the ocean, and she basically is like, my husband hired you to follow me. How long have you been following me? And he's like, how did you know? She's like, you just told me.
I love Olivia. She's so smart, in my opinion, and fun too.
So then she basically is like, I wonder how my husband would feel if she finds out. Tatiana wants to know why we don't like Eddie.
Because right now he is playing with Annie, and I'm all team Annie. Especially too. Well, this skips ahead to Wednesday, but when Annie's getting taken to county, and he's like, rough her up. I was like, oh, no. So that's when I really started to dislike Eddie. I haven't seen the full, series. So just from this first month, because wow, we're about to finish a month.
Yeah.
I don't find him very appealing.
So Gregory walks in on the conversation, and she tells him what's going on, and he furiously kicks Eddie out of the house. Caitlin and Cole meet up for a lunch date at Elaine's waffle shop, but it's closed. And Cole takes Caitlin to a cave that he found, and she's convinced it's where Armando Deschanel proposed to the Lady in Black. I'm like, how many legends does this town have?
I love it. I need them to start revealing some stuff about the legend. And
and they also discuss a treasure. And then she's like, oh my god, I realize why you look so familiar. And she puts two and two together that he looks like Armando.
So, of course, this must mean he's related to that family somehow.
Yeah. I think she even says, unless you're a ghost.
You never know.
Where are we? Ricardo asked Paula to question her mother about a gun that she has registered in her name.
Yeah,
and
so
Paula gets defensive.
But they're giving us another suspect. So right now we're Olivia, Annie, and Paula.
Elaine.
Oops, sorry. So we got 3 suspects now.
She reluctantly questions Elaine about it, and Elaine says that some Marine needed meals, so he like traded the gun for like meals, and she forgot about it. She got rid of it years ago.
Mm-hmm. Convenient. No, she seems too sweet, so clearly she's got a perfect. There's going to be a motive there. She ain't just serving waffles anymore.
I wrote Elena's having a sad day. That's why she.
She was. She really was.
So she does this once a year apparently, and we see her at the cemetery speaking to a headstone, but we don't see the name on the headstone just yet.
We saw the last name.
Not the first day we didn't.
Oh.
Yeah. So Annie gets Al Kennedy, her Aunt Bet's fifth ex-husband, to be her lawyer.
The only man to ever leave her.
Yeah, and Bet becomes frantic when she realizes that he's showing up to the police station.
Mm-hmm.
And she like runs off, and the next time we see her, it looks like she got her hair done. She's wearing like a new outfit.
Yeah, showing a little
showing cleavage.
The girls are there to help.
You said this, that he's the only one out of her 7 ex-husbands to leave her because he couldn't stand her.
Clear. I mean, I don't know why.
And he promises to get her off for the murder as well as stop the transfer to county.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's happening because she bit somebody.
She's only making she's her own worst enemy at this point. If she wouldn't bite people
or attempt to escape.
Or attempt to escape. You know, she may
do you know the legend? Tatiana wants to know.
Is that the one when the sun falls down and meets the sun? You know, you would think I'd have it memorized as much as they talk about it.
All I know is the end. It's whoever you meet at the far side of the pier is who you're destined to be with.
Even if I know it, I kind of like to say it like I don't know it because I just feel like it's more fun.
We both are like, when the sun hits the moon.
The sun hits the moon and your house floats across the riverbank next to the ocean and the two hearts meet.
So Eddie arranges for the county officers to come early to take Annie away, and that's how Monday's episode ends.
Oh, and watching Sunset Beach, I'm like, I'm so glad I wrote my soap before I ever saw this because finding so many similarities.
I was gonna say, are you writing right now and like, oh, I just wrote this?
That's how I feel. I'm like, oh, there's a murder mystery. I got a murder mystery. I mean, they talk more about their murder mystery. I'm just kind of like, we don't care that he's dead.
It was just something to kick off your show.
Yeah. Had to start with a bang.
So episode 17 starts with Tiffany catching Mark pretending to be a DJ.
Mm-hmm. Which was okay. That was kind of cute.
Yeah, she's like being a good friend for once.
Mm-hmm.
She's like encouraging him to like pursue it, and he doesn't think he's that good. Tatiana said we did good.
It was nice to see a different side of Tiffany.
Yeah, she let the air out of the tires of the real DJ so that he would have to take over that name.
She made sure she brought it back around to her brand. But it was fun to see her like caring about someone other than spending that endless amount of $1,000 that she just seems to have because she bought him a boom box too.
Yeah, that was another episode.
Oh, I thought it was this one. Telling you, we watch so many soaps, I can't keep my soap straight sometimes.
Casey's trying to win over Ray's parents still.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives her father legal advice with the business and tells him he's taking law classes at night. So Ray's parents leave happy because they they know, not think, that Casey's going to become a lawyer. And Ray thinks that it's all just an act that he used to like win them over.
And I was just kind of like, oh, poor Casey. Here, come rest your head on my shoulder. I'll make it better. Because we find out he really wants to be a lawyer.
I know. I really like Casey.
I do too.
Not in an overwhelming, like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next way. I just think he's a nice guy.
No, it's just kind of one of those. It's like, oh, you're here.
Well, like, I'm not mad when he's on screen. I'm just like,
exactly.
Yeah. So Ray says that he won the bet, and she's like, ready for the kiss, and he says no, and she's like, what do you mean no?
I know. I did like that. I like that he was like,
And he basically says that he wants her to want to kiss him. So she kind of like closes her eyes and like works up the courage to do it. But when she turns to him, he's already on his way up the stairs.
He's already upstairs when she opens her eyes. I'm like, damn, boy, you ran away fast.
Paula goes out for drinks with Eddie at the Deep. So she's still doing that, pretending to date him.
Okay. I'm sure these characters get a little better. But Ricardo, Eddie, and Paula, I'm just kind of bored with. Maybe it's because like Annie and Olivia are up here level wise, and the other ones are just kind of down here. So I'm more excited to see the other ones. But I'm just I'm just not feeling them.
Tatiana wants to know, do you think Casey pushes the flirt too much with Ray? I mean, Ray doesn't seem so interested in him. What do you think of them two?
I think Ray's just not used to getting that kind of attention because she's been so focused in school and like fulfilling her dreams. And as someone who's had this happen before, I've had people flirt with me and I didn't know they were flirting with me until later someone said they were flirting with you. I was like, me? Really? It's just one of those things. So that's where I think Ray's at.
I think she's interested in him. I think she's socially awkward because she's never really had friends or social connections like this.
Real quick.
And I think she's kind of having an internal struggle between her feelings for him and like what would be best for her family as far as like what her parents expect. So, because I feel like you see her like on her face, like she wants to have fun and she wants to kiss him, but she fights it. A side note, I'm also like you with the flirting. People be like, "Oh, that guy's checking out." I'm like, "What guy?"
Like, oh, guy. Like, I would literally need someone to be like holding a sign. I am flirting with you. I have a fun story, but real quick. Thank you, Donald, for not feeling Paula either.
I was just about to put his comment up.
Thank you so much. So one time I had someone hit on me. I was like, no one ever hits on me. And they were just like, well, maybe it's because they're just so intimidated by how attractive you are. And I was just like, whatever you want, you got it.
Wait, are you flirting with me?
Like, I know this is for once, I know this is a line, but you know what? That's a good line. So yes.
So Paula and Eddie see Sean at the bar at the Deep, and they wonder if there's more that he's not telling about seeing Annie.
Oh my gosh, I like Sean. I didn't think I would because I didn't really, he's kind of got on my nerves in Malibu Shores, and was kind of weird and not to know. But Sunset Beach, good job, Randy Spelling. Good job. You won me over.
So Ben and Meg take information from Dell's credit card statement that he booked a trip, and they go to a travel agency pretending to be a couple.
Right there, that was some passion shit. The whole time I was like, this is like Passions 101, which Sunset Beach came first, but it's something I think Passions would do. Just
to distract. So I thought she was going to distract the woman and he was going to get on the computer and the woman wasn't going to see. The whole time she's like, sir, you can't touch the computer. Sir, you really shouldn't be touching the computer. And he's just like typing away, looking everything up. Tatiana thinks we don't like anybody.
No. I just, at this moment, remember, Tatiana, we are only like 20 episodes in. And it takes a good few months to start liking characters. They can't all be Olivia and Annie and Meg
And also, I'm so sorry.
and Casey.
We are 20 episodes in and still have not met Gabby.
I need them to take her out of the credits until she shows up. There's
So
a guy.
maybe it's the first 2 months she's not in. I'm not sure.
There's a guy in the credits too that I haven't seen, and I'm just like, they do not need to be in the credits because I'm more concerned about that than I am with anything else.
Who?
I'd have to rewatch and get back to you.
I feel like we've seen everybody else.
No, maybe we haven't. I just don't realize it.
Maybe it's what's
Right now, I think the dog should be in the credit too because he's being shown as much as the Priscilla girl. Or she, dog or she.
So they find out that Dell booked a trip under Mr. and Mrs. Dell Douglas. Oh no. I'm going to be worried with you too if you like Gregory. See, I kind of do like Gregory, but I love to hate him.
Real quick, as someone who might not know this about us, we have trouble with awful relationships, toxic relationships.
I was going to say we're attracted to toxic men.
We're shocked we're with the men we're with. It's probably the same reason I like Tim. Is it Tim, right? We haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, you liked him. I don't like him.
I don't know why.
He hurt Meg.
I know he hurt Meg, but now I'm thinking he traveled all the way to Sunset Beach for Meg. Kansas to, I mean, I don't know if he flew, but if he drove, that's a hell of a drive.
All right. Well, old habits die hard with you, huh? You're making me lose my spot in my notes.
Can't help it. It's fun to have interaction.
Where am I? Eddie gives the county cop the impression that Annie would give sexual favors for protection. Which is not cool. Not cool, Eddie.
And this right here was when I was like, are you like, I remember being told, oh no, you'll like Eddie eventually. But after that scene, I was like, how?
Annie's lawyer gets the injunction to have her stay in Sunset Beach, but she's already being transported. And Ricardo tries to radio the van, but the officer ignores it and turns the radio off.
Mm-hmm.
So Ricardo and Ben make their way towards County to try and stop it. And the officer pulls the van over and then tries to rape Annie. And Ricardo and Ben show up in time to stop him and save Annie. And Annie meets Meg for the first time.
And already doesn't like her.
She's already like, oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm. She's like, who's this bitch? Yeah, I bit a cop. I'll bite you too. That's my man.
She's trying to get you out of jail, and you're just like,
That's probably something I could see us being that way too. Someone helping us, but they're with someone we like. Who's this bitch?
Well, she even asked if she could have a moment alone with Ben, and she's like, "What's with the hayseed?" I'm like, "Wow, she just like helped you."
And Meg is just just Dorothy from Kansas. Sure, like it's like, oh, poor sweet Meg. I do think it's interesting, like SB, Ben Evans, and Ricardo. I can't say his name. Ricardo. Every time there's some kind of fight, it doesn't matter what. We're mad about Annie, but Maria. He always finds a way to work it, but Maria.
Well, because that's like the root of why he hates Ben, because he thinks that he killed his sister.
Yes, but it's very much. It reminds me of like every time Luis would get mad at anything that happened in Harmony.
That's so funny. That is so funny that you mentioned that, because watching this week, I was like, so Ricardo's like Luis Lopez Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
Because Luis was just always mad about everything with the cranes.
Maria.
Episode 18.
Oh, that was a good one.
Gregory once again tries to give Sean a new car for covering for Olivia. And he seemingly accepts it. And he leaves, but returns later and has sold it and given the money to charity.
I was like, wow.
And Olivia was so amused. She was like smirking the whole time.
I know. Just her little.
I think I like the I was gonna say the Douglas family, the Richards family.
They're interesting, that's for sure.
I always want to call Gregory Richard, and then I'm like, that's not his name, that's his last name. And you think I would get that? Like, I'm dating a Gregory. But I have like a mental block with the name. Sean takes a job working at the Java Web. That was really aggressive. He's like, oh, I saw your sign. And Ben's like, oh, what did it fall? And he's like, no, I took it down. He's like, because what did he say? Your employee. He just basically was like,
he's like,
he gave himself the job.
I'm hired. And I think it's fun. Like, it's funny. Sean thinks he's the one responsible for it, but then SB's like, but my plan is get some.
Yeah. Meg wonders why he would give him the job, but then she puts it together. It's to spy on him and maybe get information on what he knows about what happened the night of the murder.
Which honestly is nothing. He knows he saw a woman leave and he saw his mama in the lobby slowly walking in a daze.
Ricardo was taken off the case by his superior.
I like that woman. She's like, I don't care. I'm retiring.
That's all she cares about. She's like, I'm retiring and nothing's getting in the way of that.
She's like, let it go. You're on parking patrol.
May goes to the station to return Dell's credit card statement, and she tries to like drop it under the desk, but Ricardo catches her.
I laugh. There are so many people around, and she's just like, oops. What's this?
He tells her to stay away from Ben because he's nothing but trouble.
Maria.
And then later on, Ricardo attacks Ben for interfering in the investigation. And I'm sure he throws Maria's name around somehow.
You got to. I mean, you got to.
Like, you're not helping Annie's case, Maria.
That's Maria is like an exclamation point for him. Why are you doing this to Maria?
Gregory wants to spend time with Caitlin, but she has been so busy making plans with Cole.
And Daddy doesn't like that.
Nope. She meets Cole on the docks at sunset, and Gregory spies from afar. And he's not happy.
Yeah.
Michael and Vanessa keep tabs on Clyde, and it seems like he still has amnesia.
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
I think he's pretending.
So I don't know if the editing was a little bit weird because the first time we see them, they're kissing. And I don't know if it's because they are romantically involved or that was just part of like their cover to make it look like they were a couple.
She walks up to him and gives him a kiss because she sees him. Down the
I must have looked down to type a note.
Yeah, because then he goes over there and he's like, hey, sir, can I get change for $1?
Yeah.
And,
See, I thought the scene started with them just kissing, and I was like, wait, what happens?
No.
I was like, I know this is fast paced, but slow down.
He was like, what? Yeah.
Next thing you know, on Friday, they're getting married. So Vanessa admits that she did some research on Michael's backstory, and he gets a little defensive, and she's like, I'm a journalist and I'm in hiding with a child. Don't you think I would have looked into you before I trusted you?
Mm.
And she's a little suspicious. She wants to know how he went from South Central to Sunset Beach.
Mhm.
She uses the term JD, and I'm like, juvenile delinquent. And he's not really offering up too much information. She goes to call LaShonda so that she can bring Jaylene to be with her. And Michael runs into an old friend named Jojo. Or at least that's his nickname. He's like, nobody calls me Jojo anymore.
And he's like, don't call me JoJo.
Yeah. They just have like a quick, catch up and say they'll see each other, whatever. And Vanessa comes back and says they can bring Jaylene to see LaShonda or to be with LaShonda. And it looks like Clyde has his memory back and has been working for Jojo. So Jojo says he'll take it from here. So now I'm assuming Jojo is the butler.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
assumed as well.
Annie's having nightmares about being executed while Olivia by Olivia.
Which was
Ben and Meg watch like they're a couple.
which was kind of funny. Especially when Olivia's like, shh.
She barely shook like she was being electrocuted.
But can we talk about the best part of this whole episode is Aunt Bet? And
Yep, get into that.
okay.
So she wakes up and Bet is there to visit and flirt with her lawyer, Al.
Mm-hmm.
She slips him a note, and Al is sure he can get Annie off no matter what. And later Al meets Bet at Annie's, and
Well, I know that note was fake, but I want to know what it says now because he's like, oh, yeah.
it was probably like naughty.
Oh, it was real naughty. If it's Aunt Bet.
So Bet's waiting for him in the hot tub, and he joins her. And it cuts away, but it can be implied that they had sex in the hot tub. And the next time we see them, Al has died on top of Bet.
Well, actually, no, he's on the side wearing his little goggles, and it's just like, and then she's like, Al, and he kind of floats on her.
Yeah. So she calls the Deep, and Meg answers, and she says she needs to speak to Ben, and Meg's like, he's in his office, I don't want to disturb him. And she's like, it's an emergency, we've hit a snag in Annie's case. So that was episode 18. So Meg and Ben end up going to Annie's to help Bet out. And I don't know where his arm was. I don't know if it was on the side of the hot tub.
It was on the side of the hot tub.
And they couldn't move it. And she's like, oh, rigor mortis set in already.
Which is interesting because his hand wasn't anywhere close to that spot to begin with, but still, it's funny. Rigor mortis.
But they don't show it, but they eventually, I guess, save her.
Well, it's funny. They're like, why didn't you call 911? She's like, the phone failed.
It did.
But I'm kind of like, why wasn't that your first call?
Right. Nobody calls the police first in this town.
No. Well, and clearly not New York either. And just like that, the first person Carrie just sits there.
Maybe some people haven't seen it yet.
I don't watch it, but it's just things I know.
It's just public knowledge.
Yeah.
So Ben tries to see Annie, but the guard won't let him see her because it's not visiting hours. And then Eddie steps in and says that it's all in the DA's hands now. And Ben punches Eddie, which gets him locked up.
Okay. I understand what's going on is important.
Mm-hmm.
but not as important to punch a guard to get thrown into jail just so you can be like, Annie, Al's dead.
Tatiana said that's always hilarious.
Oh, I can tell. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But I mean, like, come on, Ben. You couldn't wait till the morning?
I mean, it was a good idea. I got him in the cell right next to Annie, and I liked Annie's take on it. She was like, "You wanted to be close to me." She's like, "It's so romantic. You couldn't be another moment without me."
The way this show is, you would
And
think
she's
I'm
like,
like,
"Annie, focus." Anytime she like talks about them in a romantic way, he just like ignores her and like
mm-hmm.
um so he tells her that Al died, and her reaction where she screams, she like put her hands in her hair, and like they showed the outside of the police station, you could hear her scream.
Poor Annie.
So Caitlin and Cole are still on the pier discussing how much they like each other and would like to keep exploring their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
While Gregory still watches.
Awkwardly watching.
Yeah,
Let's add in there awkwardly watching his daughter.
Caitlin gives Cole a fake coin and talks about the legend of the treasure of Armando de Chanel.
Yeah, she should have just let that been like, yeah, it's a real coin, because he would have bought it. So clearly he's looking for treasure. He's treasure hunting.
She agrees to see him that evening, but she has to study first, so they go their separate ways. At home, Gregory tries to get info on this man. And just by talking about how great he is and like how nice he is, Caitlin lets it slip that his name is Cole. And you kind of see like Gregory taking that information. He has an expression on his face like Cole.
Oh, I feel like his inside is, oh, so he has a name. You know?
Oh no, I took it like, okay, so his name is Cole, so now he's gonna look up every Cole in Sunset Beach.
Every Cole in California.
She also lets it slip that Sean is now working at the Java Web, bussing tables.
Mm-hmm.
And Gregory pretends that he already knew. Yes. Dawn said
Donald. Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Gregory had incestuous. This actually comes up later in the week. Like, I think Olivia kind of like implies
she
that
sure
it's crazy,
does.
And he's like, "You're disgusting. How dare
she
you?"
sure does. And Olivia's just like, "You're the one acting like this." Yeah. But I think that was that before or after they had hate sex?
It was before.
Okay. So we're in another soap opera where right when someone's talking about the father and the daughter and this weird connection, and then boom, they have sex. Stephanie and Eric.
Eric, yeah. So at the Deep, Mark thinks he finds Tiffany stealing. Not at the Deep, at the Java Web.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same building. I think the Deep is underneath, like downstairs.
It's like the Peach Pit.
Yeah, right. Mark thinks he finds Tiffany stealing, but she's actually giving him a birthday present
that she bought with her own money, and not
like, you don't have a job. It's not your own money. It may not be Meg's money, but you stole that money.
It had to come from somewhere because your girl ain't working, right?
He's so touched by it, and he gives her a kiss, and Sean sees the kiss happen. So there's a slight little love triangle starting to form right there.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory comes to the Java Web to humiliate Sean, and he talks to Meg and requests that his son clean his table.
When he was like, "You missed a spot," I was like, that.
I liked how nice Meg was being, and she tried to help him out, and she said that somebody left a tip for him and said he was the best busser ever.
Which kind of confused me, because I'm just like, wait, You take care of the table after they're gone. Maybe things work differently since I'm
I mean,
reading.
Gregory didn't buy it, but it was still,
It's a soap opera, and I should.
let it go. Um,
Well, you know that won't happen. Soap opera fans don't let things go.
sorry, my notes scrolled and I lost my spot. Where am I?
Birthday present. Dad showed up. Missed the spot.
Feeling apologizes, Gregory. Oh, okay. Sean thanks Megan asks how Annie is doing, and she tells him about Al Kennedy dying, while Gregory listens to all the details. So he pretty much... It's weird because Gregory cares about Annie, but I guess not when it comes to his family. Like, if one of them has to go, then...
Well, I mean, it seems like Annie's dad and Gregory were best friends, so I bet she sees Gregory as an uncle. But granted, I think they get together a little bit later on, so maybe she don't see him that way.
Well, she has daddy issues, obviously.
That's true, but who doesn't?
Mark asks Tiffany out to dinner for his birthday, and she agrees, but she also seems infatuated with Sean. So she follows Sean home to the Richards mansion, and she watches from the beach.
Mm-hmm.
That place looks nice at night.
Sure, 3 stories? Yeah, on the beach. I want to know what Gregory does.
He's a lawyer.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, that's right. How many times has he been like, never mind. Had a moment.
Elaine goes to the cemetery again, and this is the time that we see Deschanel.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know if it's Armando or... Because if it's...
It can't be Armando because he's like the one who started the legend, right?
I know, and she's not old enough to have been dating him unless she was a childbird. Like...
See, when they talked about that legend, I picture it being like when Sunset Beach was founded.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused with this legend. I need more. I need to know when the sun meets the moon at the center of the stage with the heart of the ocean in your hand, your true love will appear.
Ben gets bail for himself. And when he's returned to the cell, Annie's unconscious on the floor, having tried to hang herself.
Okay, that should have been the Friday cliffhanger.
Okay, I think it was, because remember when you asked me for episode 20? I think that week there was only 4 episodes.
Okay, because to me, I was like, this is a cliffhanger.
Yeah, literally.
There was no pun intended from me. I'm not... Yeah, literally. Yeah.
So Friday's episode is the only episode I did not take notes on. So you're going to have to help me out with this.
Well, so we learn, Annie gets rushed to the hospital or med ER, whatever it is.
The clinic.
The clinic that takes care of...
Her father died.
Same room, too. Same room. That's what I love about soaps. It's like, what? But I loved how when they were talking about, well, she's breathing. We'll have to do a brain scan. If there's something, we'll have to put a tube down her throat. And she just...
And she woke up.
It's like, a tube? What? And then that's when we realized... Well, to answer which episode has been my favorite so far, any episode with Aunt Bet.
My favorite episode was when Annie flushed Del down the toilet.
I forgot about that. Oh, I like when Annie's flying in the air.
Oh,
you bitch, you Olivia!
You bitch! You killed my father.
But after we find out she's been faking it. Mm-hmm. She's trying to get the window open. She's trying to escape. She doesn't get to escape.
The gurney that she was laying on starts to slide towards the curtain, and she realizes it, and then like they notice that her heart monitor stopped, mm-hmm. And when reveal the curtain, she's back all set up in the bed.
Well, we know she can fly, so
Yeah. What else happened? Oh, this was the episode with the hate sex.
yeah. 1 minute they're talking about you've looked like Olivia almost implied like you have unnatural feelings for your daughter. Like
Yeah.
she did everything but say it, and then they just look at each other like they
Well,
stare.
first, her and Caitlin have a little conversation, and she notices that Caitlin's getting ready for her date, and they actually had like their first like nice moment. Because I always feel like Caitlin like loves her father and Sean loves his mother. It's kind of like Ridge and Kristen on Bold.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you look so pretty. Like you going out with your boy or your man, whatever she calls him."
Well, I also wonder, like, maybe she was saying those kinds of things to make Gregory jealous.
But she didn't know that Gregory was there yet.
Okay, maybe I was.
Because then Caitlin asks,
Oh,
no, she says, "I remember when I used to get excited for my man or whatever." And Caitlin has a not so nice comment when she says, "Which man was that?"
I was like, well, she ain't wrong. But don't you hurt Olivia.
And she says, "I was actually talking about your father." And she asked like what changed. And she kind of implies that she had nothing and that Gregory saved her and like gave her the life she always wanted. But she doesn't say what changed. And she says, "Do you still love him?"
What changed was,
like, "Why do you stay with him if you don't love him?" And she says, "The hope that it will be back to the way it was."
Here's what changed.
Yeah.
The daughter was born.
Yeah, right.
He didn't care about Olivia anymore. But the way they just looked at each other and then just ripped that shirt off so fast. I mean, I wasn't feeling it. I was like, ooh, no. Scene change. I'm not big on Gregory and Olivia. I just.
As a couple?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really care about them as a couple. I just like how much they hate each other.
See, I don't feel like I feel like he needs the actor that plays Gregory needs a little bit more hate there.
You think he hates her more than she hates him?
No, I think she hates him more than he hates her.
Oh. Okay.
He just feels kind of meh.
See, and I feel the opposite. I feel like she has these moments where she looks at him and she just like wants him to love her. And he's
I
just
wish she would say
he's just like disgusted by her.
What's the daughter's name again?
Caitlin.
I wish Olivia would just say, Gregory, I wish you would love me as much as you love Caitlin.
Do you feel sorry for Sean? Gregory seems to care more about Caitlin than Sean.
I don't, because he has Olivia.
That's true.
I think I'd much rather be Olivia's favorite than Gregory's.
So Caitlin meets up with Cole at Elaine's waffle shop. Oh, but not before Elaine comes face to face with Cole, and she drops all her plates because she's like, Armando.
Didn't she also go like, Armando?
Yeah, and then she did the whole legend thing.
When the sun
and she pointed to the picture.
When the sun catches the shine of the surfboard as it flies through the river on the ocean bank.
Don says Gregory was an asshole.
I know. I already shared that because that must be repeated.
So they have like a quick interaction. She says that he must be related somehow.
And
he looks so much like him.
I'm thinking he doesn't know that he looks, or maybe he does. I don't know. Cole's kind of creepy right now, but it's because he's supposed. I mean, that's his introduction into town. He's creepy, and
Yeah,
has that
and he's about to
mysterious.
be recast soon. So, like,
Like,
literally, I think he has maybe 10 more episodes,
oh, and then Eddie comes along.
and then Eddie comes on. Yeah,
Oh, thank
Eddie.
God.
Yeah.
No offense to the guy playing him. I know what's coming because I remember promos for the show and stuff. Like I know the mom and the daughter and the Cole's in a love triangle.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this guy doesn't have chemistry with either one of those two actresses.
Eddie does.
Which I know Cole hasn't met Olivia, but being that I know they had like a friendship with the family stuff outside of Sunset Beach, there's no way they're going to be able to pull off that, in my opinion.
It may even be 15. I think Eddie comes on around episode 34 or 35.
Well, come on, episode 34, 35.
I think it ends with her kissing this one, and then it opens with the new one.
Oh, I love when they do that.
Which, if you remember, when Justin was on, he talked about how the actress was friends with this Cole's parents in real life, so it was weird to kiss him.
Yes.
So she was happy with the recast.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just don't. There's nothing against his acting or anything like that. I just.
Yeah, they go more into his backstory once the recast comes along.
Yeah, and
did it go? Oh, no. Yes, he was. I thought those dimples. I have a. They make me weak.
Oh, you're not wrong. Eddie was a looker. He's still a looker.
Yeah, I mean, clearly dimples are my kryptonite because J. Kenneth Johnson, who plays Philip on D's,
can't forget though that SB finds out that Annie's faking it, and he agrees to help her.
Which is weird for him because usually he'd be like, "You're just making things worse."
I know it. Big 180 turnaround. Go from you're making things worse to all right. Here's what we're gonna do.
And Ricardo's like when they all like
Maria.
I was just gonna say he says that they should put restraints on her in case she pops up or something.
And he was right. That's the one smart decision he's made this entire time on the case. He's not even on the case.
Yeah, and there was also a couple of scenes with him and Paula doing a stakeout. What were they staking out?
I'm not sure. I kind of zoned out during that.
You don't care about them.
It's not that I don't care about them, because I want to care about them. I really, really want to care about them. But right now I can't.
Okay.
I need it to get interesting. And maybe it does.
Yeah. Tatiana. Especially when Cole walks up to Caitlin in the beginning at the deep, that look he gave her. I think she meant to say, "I would ruin my life for some guy if he looked like that." Girl, same.
I mean, he looks dangerous and like he could hurt us. You know, we're running straight to him.
Yeah. Well, I said when we first saw him, I was like, back in the 90s, I would have been like, oh my God, I'm going to marry him.
Oh, same. My tastes have changed a little bit now.
Yeah. But all in all, a good week.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely felt more like a soap opera, but still fast paced.
It did slow down much more
than
the previous 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe it? We're at a month already. We've watched 4 weeks of the show.
Yeah. And it feels like it doesn't feel like we watched a soap opera. It feels like we watched a season of a show.
And it doesn't feel like it was 20 episodes. The way the show, it's written very soapy, but very fun. Now, granted, I could live without some of the Ricardo and Paula and Eddie. To me, they're right now, that's what's dragging it down. If I have any, because I need, if I have any complaints about it, that would be my complaints. Everything else I love.
Yeah.
I want to see more about this Elaine and that grave, like who she was, I wonder if Cole ends up being her son.
We'll have to wait and see. We're definitely going to get more Elaine soon.
Well, I know she's not there too long.
Yeah, I know she's not on for the whole show, but I don't know how that all wraps up. There's going to come a point where it's all new to me.
I'm trying my hardest not to read ahead or anything, or research or anything. I'm trying my hardest.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's real hard.
Well, I'm like you. There's certain things I know because just from like being alive and like seeing the promos and like soap opera magazines, like you kind of like pick up things.
I mean,
you don't realize that you bank in your memory.
The thing that's banked in my memory would be the mother-daughter love triangle between Eddie or Cole.
Yes, Tatiana, please, if you can remember off the top of your head, when does she appear? I thought it was after the first month. Is it after the second month? Priscilla's the actress, but she plays Gabby. Aaron.
What?
You look like you were like reading and rereading.
No, I was just waiting for my answer. You said, when did she show up? And I was just waiting for the answer.
Oh, I think there's a delay, so we might have to wait a few minutes.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't stop. I mean, as we watch this, I'm trying to figure out, like, why did the show not last longer? Like, I mean, I love Passions, but the first 20 episodes of Passions, if I'm comparing it to Sunset Beach, Sunset Beach wins hands down.
It could have been the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where it aired everywhere else, but here, I think it came on at 12.
See, I think for us, it came on at 10 in the morning.
Ooh, that's early. That's what time Guiding Light came on here. Which I always thought was like so weird that a soap opera came on that early. But Tatiana said second month.
Okay.
How
we're almost there.
To have an actress in the opening credits since day one, but you don't see her for 2 months.
We're almost there.
Yeah, almost. Another 20 episodes. Maybe 25. But yeah, I guess that's all we have to say about the 4th week of Sunset Beach.
Mm-hmm. Good week.
We're enjoying it a lot, so we're definitely going to push forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
As always, like and subscribe to us at Queers and Soaps on all the socials, and don't forget to check out our Patreon where you'll get exclusive content to primetime shows like Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, Savannah,
where you get to touch the grapes. No, just kidding.
And until next time, have a great night, guys.
Bye.